Okay, so we're just picking up this turn set for the Fu Manchu game over at CivFanatics Succession Games subforum. This turn set will be 10 to 15 turns in duration. Picking it up at 1140 AD. More or less, the roster has agreed that we're shooting for military tradition, and with a view to building cavalry as a priority. We're on a terror map and have optics and at our fingertips, so during my turn set I hope to pull out fairly early on 3 caravels, so we can start taking a look at the rest of the world and ideally get the circumnavigation bonus, particularly if we do intend to head off and either attack or settle the other continent or continents when we find them. The other challenge for us is that we're very keen to get Oxford University up and running, and there's been a general agreement that we're going to move the palace as well to a more centralised location. Manchu Snarl, I think, is a pretty decent city, but it's not ideal, but it's working those cottages and pulling a pretty decent amount of science and so forth. Yeah, we've taken out Gandhi out of the picture, and he's left us with some really choice spots, and one of those will be our future palace, and we've got another spot that we're going to build a great person farm in. At the moment we've only popped the 1 GP, and we've got quite a way to go to even get our second one, so there's a lot of opportunity to quickly bang out 4 or 5 great persons before the game's end, because our count to date has been so low. Just running through our builds very quickly. We're going to press on with this market build. I think it's the right way to go. This city is pulling in a lot of commerce, as you can see, and look, we've get the benefit of silk. So with that, we'll get an extra happy face as well. But the idea here is not to whip away these quite good tiles, and we've got at least 1 other cottage and a few mines, so we're growing this city up, particularly given that it's our bureau capital, and pulling in the plus 50% commerce and plus 50% hammer production as well. So we want to make sure that we've got citizens to work all that. Yeah, more or less, we're going to be whipping out these universities as quickly as practicable. But again, the idea is to get these cities to regrow and become pretty productive. This looks like we've got a long time to go yet. It's actually very whippable next turn. And again, whip and regrow is the name of the game here. Black Horse, I think, will make a pretty decent production site. It's look, it's got three already quite well developed commerce tiles, but the rest of it, we've got some mountains to work and hills and mines and so forth to work. So and the horses add some extra hammers. So yeah, I think for want of somewhere better, if we ever push into Korea, then there's an extra hill that we can add to that. Just a little city that's sort of churning away nicely. Obviously there to pick up the clams, but with a bit of commerce we might push into those pigs and be able to work them. Again, an interim city between 2 sort of fairly spread apart city sites. This guy's just going to be a nice little production hub. One of Gandhi's cities we picked up. Unfortunately, these cottages are very undeveloped at the moment, but again, with this city with a view to growth, and again, if we can pick up those pigs at some point or other, should be a great little commerce site in the fullness of time. This is our future capital, and we'll bite the bullet and just get that university done once and for all, and then we can start concentrating on building the palace there. A couple of forests that are asking to be chopped, so we'll get onto that during this turn set. Doesn't look too good at the moment, but in one turn when the borders pop, it'll pick up 3 very nice food resources, and this will be our national epic site. Just going to finish off this granary and run culture for a bit so we can pick up this this extra gems tile. I'm a bit mindful that Roosevelt's got a settling party close by, and he might sort of push into that tile as well. So get a border pop and we'll be able to work those 2 gems. This is a nice commerce city. It's sort of a bit hybridy actually with that mine that we can't work at the moment, but you know, with the 3 dyes there, the rice, it's pretty handy. But it's one of the few cities that we've got that is coastal and would make a pretty handy site to pop out a caravel so we can get away on that circumnavigation bonus. So I've switched over to that, and we'll be whipping that out at some stage or other. Likewise, and yeah, just get some culture. I've renamed these 2 last Indian cities as Insidious Reef and Diabolic Plains. So at this stage, I think we're ready to go. As I mentioned in the play plan in the forums, that it's a bit disappointing that we can't really seem to find a spot to get courthouses up, because our city maintenance is running pretty high at the moment, and if we're planning to continue to war and so forth, thankfully we're financial and have quite a few cottages up, because things might get pretty tight otherwise. We're not the tech leader, Wang Kong, our doppelganger, is, but we hope to catch up and use trades and so forth to make progress there. We're wary of Churchill. He's cancelled his deals with us and is annoyed. He's not in "we have enough on our hands" mode at this point, but I think we're all expecting it to happen at some stage or other. There's no evidence that he's got any big stacks anywhere, so we'll wait and see. But these border cities, there are 4 of them that we really need to work on some garrisons. They've got, sort of adequate, couple of units, but yes, when we get our heroic epic side up, and we can. It needs some stables, and after that we can start pumping out some units. But we've got a mini stack left over from our Indian War over here that some of these units can go back and perform city garrison duties as well. Yeah, as I mentioned, there's a settler party there that Roosevelt's got. I'm not quite sure where he has in mind. But yeah, we've got this big space ourselves that that we were thinking of squeezing a city in, maybe along the river somewhere to make the most of that. But I fear it might have already been taken. Okay. Okay, so first thing we noticed was that Churchill's gone and dropped the city right here. It's a fair way north of his empire, but possibly not what we want. There's no resources there of note, I mean, other than our corn. So yeah, not something I think that would be too excited about keeping if we ever got to the point where we had to make the decision about raising it or not. And it's obviously going to try and compete with some of these tiles here that's already covered by our own city. Okay, so first things first, we'll check whether he has changed. No, he hasn't. And we'll just also check our trades to see if there's Um, there's a bananas for 8 gold that I'm serious. I actually think I will pursue, but we'll just have a look to see if anything's changed on the tech front. Yeah. Yeah, look, I think I'll take that for the time being. And look, I'll continue this turn set after I've clicked off the video.